Yes, 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 yes. Diddy, they have evidence that Diddy has something to do with them wildflowers. Let me tell y'all, Diddy and these Hollywood elites, they are trying to erase a lot of stuff in these houses by the wildflowers. You already know that ain't natural. You already know that a lot of them are in cahoots of doing this weather modification. They have weather modification and where they are controlling the weather. They are putting different stuff to make it rain, to make it snow, to make a thunderstorm in certain places, to make wildfires, to destroy the evidence. I mean, man, my goodness, it's right in front of our faces. Okay, it is right in front of our faces. Y'all gotta see this video of the Diddy and the wildfires and the connection. And he is not doing this alone. It's a lot of the Hollywood individuals that are doing all this. And honey, they are over there. They about to get a whole bunch of money and they just excited about these wildfires and they gonna clean it up so they can benefit. This ain't nothing but a scheme. They always scheming. Y'all gotta watch this, okay? It's a lot of hocus pocus going on right now in front of our faces. But don't you worry, the messy sweet spot, we are on it. We gonna give you the truth. If you want it or not, we gonna give it to you. So let's look and see what's going on.
Last freak off tape that just got sold on the dark net, which I know because I monitor, went for $500 million. It had multiple stars in it. Nicki Minaj, Rihanna, Chris Brown, Justin Bieber, Drake. It was a really interesting night in Calabasas.
Right now, we're in Los Angeles, standing near one of the houses of Sean Diddy Combs, where federal agents are searching for evidence that they believe will help them build a case against the rapper. They took no chances when they went into that property today. Their guns were drawn. They detained 2 people while they continued that raid. It is understood that...
And adapting. So when someone is taking control of things in their environment, so like if I sat down here and I was like scooting these things back and kind of pushing them over, aligning them, it's unnecessary movement. So we're seeing a lot of unnecessary movement. Mouth covering is the...
Normally, this is not the time of year you see California burning. It's the wet season. This is not fire season, although fire season is becoming almost year-round, and that's something...
Los Angeles is in chaos as wildfires rage, leaving entire neighborhoods in ruins. Families are heartbroken, and lives have been shattered. But it's not just regular people feeling the heat. Some of Hollywood's biggest stars have found themselves caught in the flames. But here's where things get interesting. As the smoke clears, people are starting to wonder, could there be more to these fires than just a natural disaster? Some are even saying these blazes could be linked to an effort to destroy evidence tied to a controversial figure in the entertainment.
A couple of these clips here, Rob. If you can pull up. First one I want to go through is Diddy. So here's Diddy Combs. He is on Breakfast Club. And Charlemagne the God is asking a question. A lot of people... I don't know if you know.
Fear Factor, I talked to this guy who was a fire guy for the fire department. He said, it's just going to be a matter of time. There's going to be one day where a fire hits LA and the wind is the right way and we're not going to be able to stop it. It's just going to burn right through to the ocean. He goes, it's just a matter of time. We all know it. I was like, what the... I go, the whole city? He goes, the whole city.
It's insane.
A friend was trying to sell a house in California, and it turned out it was $125,000 a year just to get fire insurance.
The violation I have experienced during the has had lasting effects. Body, ongoing health problems.
You're legendary for the parties that you throw.
I'm a legend, baby, for a whole bunch of things.
Yes. You need locks on the doors? Yeah, this is sounding kind of dangerous.
Starting to act different, huh?
No.
You ain't been calling me and hanging out the way we used to hang out.
Well, I mean, you try to get in contact with me, through all my, partners and whatnot.
Enter Diddy. His name is all over the news, but not for the right reasons. Allegations and lawsuits are stacking up. painting a pretty disturbing picture of someone who may have used his power for all the wrong reasons. Now, with the timing of these fires, rumors are running wild. Could the fires be connected to investigations into Diddy's shady past? Or is it just one big coincidence? The theories are everywhere, and no one can stop talking about it. Let's unwrap this controversy. But of course, before we go any further, make sure first that you subscribe to our channel and hit that notification bell for more updates and videos like this. Some of the celebrities affected by these fires have ties to Diddy's social circle. Big names like Mandy Moore, Anna Faris, Paris Hilton, and Jeff Bridges are just a few who these lost their homes to tragic results of a natural disaster. Others can't help but notice how convenient the timing seems. With Diddy facing serious allegations, the idea that these fires could destroy critical evidence has got people talking. Officials say thousands of homes and buildings have been wiped out, with damage estimates hitting between $135 billion and $150 billion. On top of that, the National Guard has stepped in after reports of looting in some of the affected areas. Now here's where things get interesting. Rumors about Diddy's over-the-top parties are coming back into focus. These weren't just regular Hollywood get-togethers. They were said to be exclusive, extravagant, and allegedly full of shocking activities. And here's the kicker. Some of the burned-down homes are rumored to have hosted these events.
Catastrophe in California. A Los Angeles disaster movie roars to life.
Whoa! This was like an 80-mile-an-hour blowtorch.
I came out and I saw a fireball.
Do you know what you're gonna do now?
How do I get to my house?
Tonight, homes in ashes.
Oh, God, it's gone.
I hadn't cried until I got here.
Lives in chaos.
My parents tried to get me out of here, but I couldn't leave.
I can't go, bro. 51 years that I've been in this house.
Heroes in action.
You haven't slept.
Not really. You got control on one, and then the winds pick up.
The flames are
People online are questioning whether these fires conveniently erased evidence investigators might have been looking for. Is it all just bad timing, or is there something more to this? Either way, these theories are sparking a lot of chatter online.
They're going to probably be arresting me just because we want to have a good time.
Multiple safes broken into, drawers ripped open, closets ransacked, boxes of gun ammo, and Grammy Awards. New images from TMZ show inside Diddy's ransacked Beverly Hills mansion during the coast-to-coast raids where no arrests were made.
People in the home are traditionally detained during raids, so they don't flee, and so they don't destroy evidence.
The rapper's attorney calls it a witch hunt with an excessive show of force and hostility that led to a premature rush to judgment, adding Diddy will continue to fight every single day to clear his name.
They don't execute these types of search warrants until they believe they have an ironclad case.
Social media is buzzing with wild theories, especially about the FBI possibly keeping tabs on Diddy and his inner circle. Some people think the fires broke out just as federal agents were about to hit important locations tied to the investigation. One viral post on X even alleged that Diddy's Los Angeles mansion was set to be searched days before it was supposedly destroyed by the flames. But here's the thing, Diddy's mansion wasn't actually in the fire's path. That claim has been debunked. Still, the post fueled conspiracy theories that these fires weren't just random accidents.
And we are following breaking news right now coming out of South Florida. Chopper 6 live right now. This is over the Star Island home of rapper P. Diddy, where 4 law enforcement sources tell NBC News that a search warrant has been executed by federal agents with Homeland Security investigations. Now we're hearing another search warrant has been executed at his home in Los Angeles.
Now at this point, it's unclear why. We know that the rapper, whose real name is Sean Combs, has faced accusations of months. Last year, singer Cassie sued Combs, accusing him of That lawsuit was settled, but more women later sued, accusing Combs of. ABC6's Christian Colon is on the way to the scene and will bring us a live report coming up.
Adding more mystery to the mix, some of Diddy's former friends and industry peers have stayed unusually quiet. Paris Hilton, for example, lost her Malibu home, but hasn't said much beyond expressing sadness about the fires. Mandy Moore, another celebrity who suffered big losses, has also avoided any mention of her past ties to Diddy.
And we are following breaking news right now coming out of South Florida. Chopper 6 live right now. This is over the Star Island home of rapper P. Diddy, where 4 law enforcement sources tell NBC News that a search warrant has been executed by federal agents with Homeland Security investigations. Now we're hearing another search warrant has been executed at his home in Los Angeles.
Now, at this point, it's unclear why. We know that the rapper, whose real name is Sean Combs, has faced accusations of...
The silence is making people wonder. Could it mean they know more than they're letting on? With so much on the line in this investigation, the timing of their reactions, or lack of them, has only added to the speculation. The situation keeps changing by the minute, with new fires breaking out, including one in West Hills that's pushing into Ventura County. Officials are warning that the high winds could spread the flames even faster, making the crisis even harder to control. But here's where it gets interesting. An anonymous source has leaked some pretty compelling information. This person claims to have been at one of Diddy's infamous gatherings. According to the source, these events were carefully planned, with everything from the lighting to the soundproof rooms set up to keep things secret. There was even a strict no phones rule to make sure nothing could be captured or shared. As the fires continue to rage and investigations heat up, people are still questioning what really happened here. Could these wildfires be connected to some of Hollywood's biggest scandals? If what the source says is true, any evidence from these events would be crucial to investigators. And with some of that evidence now possibly reduced to ashes, it makes you wonder, was it all just a coincidence, or was there something more behind it?
No. As you know, where I live is on fire right now. Literally the entire city of the Pacific Palisades is burning. And you know, I flew here last night. I was on the plane, started getting texts, and it's gnarly, you guys. It's just a catastrophe in Southern California. Obviously, there have been horrific fires in many places. This is literally where I live. Everything. The market I shop in, the schools my kids go to, friends, many friends now have lost their homes. So it's a really awful situation.
What's also getting a lot of attention is the list of celebrities who've been linked to Diddy's gatherings. The names are straight out of a Hollywood dream. Leonardo DiCaprio, Beyonce, Jay-Z, Jennifer Lopez, Usher, you name it. While none of these stars has been accused of anything illegal, the fact that they're connected to Diddy has definitely raised some eyebrows. Could the fires have destroyed evidence that might implicate them? Or is this all just gossip from the internet, hungry for drama? One name that keeps popping up is Usher. He's talked in the past about his experiences with Diddy when he was a teenager. In a resurfaced interview, Usher said he witnessed things that were wild and eye-opening while staying at Diddy's house. While he didn't go into detail about what he saw, the clip has only added fuel to the rumors about what really happened behind those closed doors.
Lived with Sean Puffy Combs for a year. In the 90s, do you understand what that's like? It was curious. I got a chance to see some things.
Yeah, but you were 13. What were you seeing?
I went there to see the lifestyle.
Right.
And I saw it. There were very curious things taking place. Uh-huh. And I didn't necessarily understand.
You're a dad now. Would you ever send your kid to Puffy camp?
Hell no.
Recently, Usher made waves when he deleted a bunch of posts from his X account. People are starting to wonder if he's trying to separate himself from the controversy surrounding Diddy. In a different clip that's been making the rounds, someone shared a reflection from their childhood. They recalled being just 3 years old and not having many memories of their father. They mentioned that while you can't really miss something you've never had, as they got older, they definitely felt the absence of their dad.
People claim that Usher allegedly got uncomfortable after speaking to Diddy at the dinner table.
You're a dad now. Would you ever send your kid to Puffy camp?
Hell no.
When he was just getting his foot in the music industry's door, a 13-year-old Usher spent a year living with Combs. Usher opened up about this experience in a 2016 interview with Howard Stern.
Does he have you doing any chores? Are you doing dishes at all? I mean, to keep you humble somewhat? Or are you just like, can you stay up till 4 a.m. with them and party?
I mean, I could. I actually stayed up longer than them.
Although he made it sound like a blast, Usher hinted at something more disturbing beneath the surface. Usher said that he didn't, quote, understand what he was even looking at, and, quote, very curious things were taking place.
I went there to see the lifestyle.
Right.
And I saw it. And it was, but I don't know if I could indulge and understand what I was even looking at.
Perhaps most telling, Usher made it clear that he wouldn't want his children attending, quote, Puffy camp like their father.
Then there's Justin Bieber, another name that's been popping up a lot. Bieber was mentored by Diddy early in his career, but he's been pretty quiet about the allegations against him. His spokesperson recently said that Bieber is focusing on his family and trying to stay out of the drama. But that hasn't stopped people online from speculating about what Bieber might have seen while working with Diddy. Everywhere, some believe Bieber could have been a victim, while others think he just witnessed all the chaos without getting involved.
So what's the price that you're willing to pay for success? Justin Bieber, arguably one of the best musical artists in the last 10 years. By the way, do you know how old Justin Bieber is now today? 30 years old. He got famous 15 years ago when he was, and probably before that, but because if you're meeting Diddy, you're probably famous at that point. He's been famous for a decade and a half. At what point do the parents have to say, hey, look, we love our kid. We want the best for him. He really wants to go for this music thing. He's up here in Canada and we're going to bring him to Miami, to LA, and we're going to give him a shot. Now, what happens behind closed doors, that's, Justin Bieber and Diddy knows. But let's not get it twisted. The kid's not 5 years old. He's not 10 years old. You're 15 years old. You're at Diddy's house. You kind of got to be able to make decisions.
Are you saying at 15, Adam? I'm so confused. Are you saying at 15 he should have responsibility to not let a man potentially?
Well, yes. Would be the parents. Where are they here? Why aren't the parents?
Where we hanging out and what we doing? We can't really disclose, but it's definitely a 15-year-old's dream. When he signed to Usher, I had legal guardianship of Usher when he did his first album. I did Usher's first album. I don't have legal guardianship of him, but for the next 48 hours, he's with me. So yeah, and we gonna go full crazy.
We're going crazy.
What's going on with you guys? Are you working together?
I'm not. I mean, I think that we've become friends in a strange way, Yeah.
It's like exactly. I'm begging it, Rob.
Yeah. No, I mean, he's. To a lot of us, he's like a little brother. You know what I'm saying? He's not afraid to call and ask for advice. You know what I'm saying? He's one of the greatest kids that you could ever know.
Just you. He could buy you one also while you're out.
A Lamborghini.
Yeah. Oh, well, that's nice.
I haven't gotten it yet, though.
Yeah, I know. When is that coming, that Lamborghini? We talked about this last time.
The Lamborghini for a day or two, and he had access to the house. And he knows better than to be talking about the things that he does with Big Brother Puff on national television.
Oh, apparently not. Something. Everything ain't for everybody.
And let's not forget about the silence from other Hollywood stars. Megan Fox, for instance, has completely wiped her Instagram and X accounts. This has sparked even more rumors about her potential link to Diddy's gatherings. Khloe Kardashian's old comments about attending one of Diddy's infamous parties have recently resurfaced, and they've added more fuel to the fire. In a clip from a few years ago, Khloe mentioned a party where half the people were naked. Now, while that could be just an exaggeration, the timing of the clip popping up again has definitely made people talk.
So who was with you this weekend? A bunch of my friends. Diddy, Quincy, Justin Bieber. So far, so good. Montana. Do you even know half the people you're naming? No. She didn't go to bed. I haven't been to bed yet. You haven't? I go to Clay when I grow up, of course. I got on a plane at 5:30 a.m. for this party. I think half the people there were you would have loved it.
Then there's this officer, who made a pretty shocking comparison between Diddy's alleged activities and those of Jeffrey Epstein. In a statement to Newsmax, the officer said Diddy's gatherings involved a similar crowd, including some of the same people listed in Epstein's infamous Black Book. While there's no solid proof connecting these two scandals, just drawing the comparison has been enough to send social media into a frenzy.
Look how excited that guy is in the back.
Yeah.
Who the
guy that brought Jeffrey Epstein to the house to see Bill Clinton 7 times, and all this Epstein going down, and Ghislaine's in jail, and you have information there's people on both sides, right? There's the people on the right that are trying to nail the people that are on the left with this. There's people that are journalists that are trying to nail the people that were involved in this.
This is it. Yeah.
And they've managed to keep that from coming out, which shows you how powerful certain people are. That should show you a lot. That should be terrifying. The fact that Ghislaine Maxwell's in prison, she's in prison for trafficking, yet
very high profile. How can we forget that financier spender Jeffrey Epstein died while he was locked up at the Metropolitan Correction Center in New York pending trial on his own federal charges. Officials concluded that he took his own life, although, as you know, there have been a long list of rumors and conspiracy theories that he had been murdered. But here's the big thing. It brings me what I want to talk about today. Because as we've dug into the dozens of pages of legal documents surrounding the indictment and any possible bail, we have heard Combs compared now to two infamous offenders.
The officer's words have only added to the belief that the fires might have been part of a plan to protect a powerful network of people. And when you think about the timing of it all, things start to look even fishier. With the upcoming release of the documentary Diddy, The Making of a Bad Boy, which promises never-before-seen footage and interviews with people close to Diddy, some are wondering if the fires were a way to discredit whatever might come out in the film.
Sean Combs is a monster. I want to speak about this now because I've witnessed everything. I think Sean Combs can get away with anything.
Anytime the studio or any room is red, is making love and sex. Some of the ones who went in the room, for sure they were underage.
They said they could ship me off and sell me to anyone.
And let me show you how we have fun to stay out of jail, too.
Could this all be a coincidence? Or are we just making connections where there might be none? The timing of the fire certainly raises questions, and it's hard to ignore the idea that there might still be hidden truths, whether buried in the ashes or somewhere else. A U.S. judge has made a major decision. Rapper and producer Sean Diddy Combs will stand trial on federal exploitation and racketeering charges in May. Until then, he'll stay in custody. Diddy has pleaded not guilty to the accusations that he used his business empire to move women and men across state lines for recorded performances. If found guilty, he could be facing a life sentence. As the conspiracy theories keep piling up, one thing is certain: the fires have made this already wild story even more complicated. Whether they were just bad timing or part of a bigger cover-up, the fires have definitely played a role in the investigation into Diddy's alleged crimes. The destruction of evidence, combined with the increased focus on his social circle, has left the public itching for answers.
Those individuals allegedly included high-ranking supervisors in the business, personal assistants, security staff, and household staff. The indictment alleges that those individuals facilitated the freak-offs. They booked the hotel rooms and stocked them with the supplies, including drugs, baby oil, personal lubricant, extra linens, and lighting. When the hotel rooms got damaged, they helped clean it up. They arranged for victims and commercial workers to travel for the freak-offs, and they delivered large quantities of cash to Combs to pay for the commercial. The indictment also alleges that they helped Combs cover up his crimes. During the March 2016 incident at the LA hotel that I mentioned earlier, a member of the hotel security staff intervened, and Combs attempted to bribe the staff member with a stack of cash to make sure that what happened was kept quiet.
So what's next? Only time will tell, but right now the mystery is as thick as the smoke still hanging over Los Angeles. Shifting gears, things take a much darker turn as the focus moves to what supposedly went down at Diddy's infamous gatherings. The rumors, the testimonies, and the shocking claims paint a picture of a world far from the flashy, glamorous Hollywood lifestyle we're used to seeing. So what exactly were these events, and how do they connect to the charges against Diddy? The deeper you dig into the story of Sean Diddy Combs, the darker it gets. These weren't just your average Hollywood parties. Sure, they had all the glitz and glam, designer clothes, A-list stars, fancy venues, but insiders say what went on behind closed doors was way more disturbing. Over the years, these gatherings have earned a reputation for being secretive, tightly controlled, and according to some, downright unsettling. Let's break down.
Hey, Mama said don't jump on the bed. We jumping.
Myth or if this is true, but I'm told that when you go to a hotel, anytime you go to a hotel...
Let's break down what we allegedly know about these events. They were often called freak-offs, a term that's been popping up in headlines lately. These weren't casual hangouts. These gatherings were carefully planned, lasting for days, and it seemed like something only someone with Diddy's resources could pull off. Court documents and leaked testimonies give us a glimpse into just how much effort went into making these events happen. Apparently, everything was designed to cater to Diddy's every need, with his staff ensuring that things went off without a hitch. Sources close to these events have called them chaotic and almost dystopian. Some even say that people were either encouraged or pressured into doing things they might not have been comfortable with. What's even more shocking is the amount of preparation that went into these parties. Insiders have claimed that specific lighting setups were used to set the right mood, with rooms lit in red to signal certain activities. Some areas were even soundproofed to make sure no one could hear what was going on. And on top of all that, attendees were reportedly not allowed to bring their phones or any recording devices. Now, a no-phone policy isn't all that unusual at high-profile events, but given the serious allegations, it's taken on a much darker meaning. This policy made sure that nothing could be documented, leaving almost no trace behind. One of the creepiest details that's come to light is from a former staff member. They claim that Diddy's team would stock these gatherings with all sorts of supplies, most notably a huge amount of baby oil, along with other items that have become a big focus of the investigation. The weirdly specific mention of baby oil has really caught people's attention. Many are asking, why would they need so much of it?
Cameras all over the house and 100,000 baby oil. Yeah, what? That's all the bottles.
No, that's AI. That's AI. That's got to be AI.
I don't know if it's AI. I think that's real. I think it was lube and baby oil. I think it had a variety of different substances.
Who counted that? Was
Look at that.
1,000?
Look at that.
When law enforcement raided one of Diddy's properties, they reportedly found over 1,000 bottles of baby oil, along with other things. Some might just brush this off as a quirky habit, but others see it as a clue and a much bigger story. The way these events were organized is even more disturbing. Leaked reports suggest that Diddy's inner circle handled everything, from booking fancy hotel suites to setting up IV treatments for guests to recover after wild nights. The level of planning was so detailed, some insiders have even compared it to a production team working on a big-budget movie. Everything was planned down to the smallest detail, but for what purpose? That's the question investigators are trying to figure out. But the allegations don't stop there. Witnesses have painted a picture of an environment where boundaries were non-existent. People reportedly felt like they had no choice but to go along with whatever was happening. There's a growing sense of discomfort from multiple sources, all suggesting that these events were far from the fun, carefree parties they were made out to be.
So one of the centerpieces, and we've talked about this before, are these freak-off parties that Diddy hosted. And, you know, we all knew...
That's the allegation, and remember, Cassie that first came to light in Cassie's lawsuit, where she talked about these freak-off parties that he would have at hotels she said, in Atlanta, Miami, LA, and New York.
And they were essentially... But the U.S. Attorney for the Southern District of New York, who filed this, laid this out at a press conference and specifically addressed the freak-offs.
The freak-offs sometimes lasted days at a time, involved multiple commercials, and often involved a variety of narcotics, such as ketamine, ecstasy, and GHB, which Combs distributed to the victims to keep them obedient and compliant.
Now let's talk about the guest list. Some names have been leaked, but many others are still under wraps. It's no secret that Diddy has always been connected to the biggest names in the entertainment world. A-list actors, top musicians, and basically every major player in Hollywood. His social circle is like a who's who of the industry, but how many of these famous faces really knew what they were getting into when they showed up to these events? And more importantly, how many of them just turned a blind eye?
The last freak-off tape that just got sold on the dark net, which I know because I monitor, went for $500 million. It had multiple stars in it. Nicki Minaj, Rihanna, Chris Brown, Justin Bieber, Drake. It was a really interesting night in Calabasas.
One name that keeps popping up in connection with these gatherings is Usher. As we mentioned earlier, Usher has talked about staying at Diddy's house when he was a teenager and seeing things that he described as wild. While he didn't go into specifics, the fact that these old statements have resurfaced has brought more attention to his connection with Diddy. Recently, Usher removed a lot of posts from his social media, which has led to speculation that he's trying to separate himself from all the drama. Whether this was just a coincidence or a calculated move, it's definitely sparked more interest. Another name getting tossed around in all this is Justin Bieber. When Bieber was starting out, Diddy took him under his wing and mentored him. While Bieber hasn't publicly addressed the allegations against Diddy, his spokesperson recently said he's focusing on his family and staying out of the drama. But that hasn't stopped people from wondering what Bieber might have seen during his time with Diddy. Could Bieber have seen something that could shed light on what really went down at these events? Or is he just another innocent bystander caught up in all the media chaos? The lack of answers only makes things more mysterious. But the most disturbing part of these gatherings? The claim that some people didn't come by choice. Court documents show allegations that certain individuals were pressured or manipulated into taking part in things they didn't want to. That's where things get even darker. If these claims are true, these events weren't just about partying or excess. They could have been much more troubling. With the FBI now involved, it's clear that investigators are taking these allegations very seriously. Reports say federal agents have interviewed numerous witnesses and are going through piles of evidence, including financial records, electronic messages, and even surveillance footage from some of these events. So, let's talk about those recent wildfires in Los Angeles. They've really thrown a wrench into everything, especially for the investigation. If any evidence was hidden in places linked to Diddy or his associates, it could very well be gone now. This has sparked a ton of rumors, with many people wondering if the fires were set intentionally to destroy evidence. Now, there's no solid proof of this, but the timing is definitely raising some eyebrows. And things get even messier when you think about the number of big-name celebrities connected to Diddy over the years. The so-called Diddy list has been making the rounds online, and it includes some huge names like Leonardo DiCaprio, Beyonce, Jay-Z, Jennifer Lopez, and more.
Bieber. Yeah. Hey, what's up? Like, I'm calling you and answering.
Yeah, that was low.
That was weird,
That was, that was weird. They did not run through people.
They was pressing them like, why you not answering your phone? Like, yo,
he wasn't answering for a reason.
Shit. You did things to me. Everybody didn't know that.
Yeah. So blackmailing with like a booty.
Kind of like.
What was he doing with their booties, man?
Just playing with it. According to the people complaining.
None of these stars have been accused of anything, but their connection to Diddy has opened the door to a lot of speculation. Could they have known what was going on at those parties? And if they did, why aren't they speaking up? The silence from Hollywood's biggest names is loud, and it only makes people more curious. Meanwhile, fire officials gave an update on the ongoing LA fires, saying they expect the winds to mellow down soon, which should help fire crews get a better grip on the situation. But they were real quick to add that the red flag warnings is still in place, meaning the threat of extreme fire behavior is far from over. As the smoke from these fires starts to clear, the questions surrounding Diddy and these wildfires are only getting hotter. Are the fires part of a bigger cover-up or just a tragic accident? And what about all the silence from the A-listers? Is it because they're guilty, or are they just trying to avoid the drama? The theories are endless, and the truth is still hard to grasp. But what do you think? Are these fires part of something bigger, or are we making too much out of a natural disaster? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, and let's keep this conversation going. That's all for today. If you want to keep yourself updated on the latest binge-worthy topics, click that subscribe button and notification bell for more videos like this.
Ooh, honey, it's just so much going on out here. Make sure y'all like, share, subscribe here at the Messy Sweet Spot, where we always give y'all the tea and nothing but the tea and real facts. All right, and I'll see y'all on the next upload. Bye.